Hello and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm on the scrounge around my garden to see if I can get any compost to fill up the beds. So let me show you where I've got to and how I'm going to proceed. These are my two main compost areas. This one is the one I'm currently tipping into, and it's got all this sort of debris here because I've been trying to sieve the other heap across there. This heap here, what was in there has rotted down, but it's all very lumpy and it's extremely wet, and it kind of needs sieving because there are lots of big chunky pieces in it, which won't really be very good as a mulch on my garden. So I kind of need to dry it out, and I've filled two pots and put them in my conservatory full of this compost because I've got a dehumidifier in the conservatory, so hopefully that will dry that bit of compost a little bit, and then I'll be able to sieve it and use it. But obviously this is going to be a very long process, so I bring you on to my next bit of compost that I want to try and pillage from. This is one of those, well, everyone calls them Dalek bins, don't they? And it has been full of my chicken bedding, and it's been full for about 1.5 years, I think. We had rats in the winter, and I think they've tunnelled out a lot of the compost. There was a big, well, not big mound, but there was a mound there which I've now put into my barrow here, and this is lovely. This is really fine. Looks like good quality stuff, so hopefully I'll be able to get some of this quality from that big compost heap once it's dried out a bit. But that's going to be a long process, and I want to kind of fill my beds now, so I thought we'd have a look and see what's in this Dalek. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, that looks, well, it looks extremely wet. Yes, it is very, very wet. It's like mud, but that is composted down. So this can go on my beds too. Ha ha, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. I love it when a plan comes together. It doesn't happen often, but I'm going to take the outside of the compost Dalek bin off now, and I shall start putting some of this compost onto my beds. I'll show you the compost on the bed when I do it. Here is one barrow load dumped into one of my newly made beds, and I think probably 1.5 will be enough to give this sort of 1 inch of mulch for the coming season. If we go really close. Again, as I got more into the Dalek bin, there are bigger sort of fibres, but I don't mind pieces like that in my compost. I just didn't want like really thick bits of wood, and there are the odd stones from where the rat or the mole, whichever one it was, has dug around in the compost. So I just need to spread this out now, and then I'll go and get some more, and I'll show you what I've got at the end. That bin is now empty, but I have managed to get 3 3/4 beds done, which is great because I would like to plant some shallots in here very soon. Just a row there and a row there, and then the rest will be parsnips, which I'll probably sow in May, and this will be celeriac, so 2 rows there as well should be fine because the shallots will come out way before the celeriac and parsnip are ready. So I'm hoping that interplant will work well. And it's just this one bed that I didn't get done really, but I have pulled out some carrots and some leeks. These are baby leeks. They were grown as baby leeks. They're not leeks that haven't grown. I did grow them as baby leeks. I'll take them in the house and have them for our tea. So I have got one last place to hunt down some compost, and that is my hot bin composter. So let's go and have a look at that. This is my hot bin composter. Oh, I can't really show you very well, but where we had rats over the winter, I think they've got in there and essentially ruined my hot bin composter. If we look there are some bits on the top that haven't rotted down, but that's the same on every compost heap. So what I'll do is I'll take this square off and we'll see if there's any usable compost from there. Here is the compost from below, so you can see where the layer of uncomposted is, and then you can see there is absolutely loads of black gold there and loads of worms. There's more worms in this hot bin composter, which isn't meant to have any worms in it, than there is in my compost heap. Anyway, I'll get on and get rid of, bring out the compost, and I'll show you what's in my barrow when I'm done. So there's one empty hot bin composter, and here's the compost from it. All the red wrigglers have gone down deeper now, but when I got it out, it was absolutely teeming with it. It was really nice to see. I'm wondering if they've actually come across from my wormery, which I haven't done anything with for a long time. So I'll have to have a look in there and see what's occurring in there, but that's for another day. Let's get this onto the bed and I'll show you what the bed's like afterwards. Can you see where I added the hot bin compost? I'm going to call this my two-tone bed from now on. But I've got that bit done, and I've also filled all this bed. So that's all 6 of these beds now, all filled with homemade compost. As well as emptying the compost, I've also made a start on making compost for next year. So I've dug up this area that had straw and sort of a bit of compost underneath, and I've put it into the Dalek bin, and I'll just leave it there to rot down for next year. Here's the Dalek bin. I will come back after a few days to see how much it has sunk, but I don't think it'll sink very much because it is quite compact with all that straw in. And I just made this bin the same way as I make all my other bins essentially, which is to put a first layer of compost down, in this case the straw and manure from the chicken coop, then a layer of cardboard, then another layer of straw and compost, then another layer of cardboard, and hopefully that will encourage the worms to come looking for the cardboard essentially. So yes, that is a little something towards next year's composting. So my next job today is to plant out quite a few bits and pieces here and there. I've got some brassicas that need to go in, and I've got some onions that need to go in, and I've got some shallots that need to go in, and I might even plant out the broad beans to replace the ones that I've lost. So let me show you the plants, and then I'll talk you through what I'm going to do, and then I'll do a montage because it's really windy out, so if I talk to you outside it's just going to be all so yeah, let me show you the plants. So I have here some Chinese kale, which is kind of more like a purple sprouting broccoli, but it produces broccoli within about 45 to 60 days. I grew it last autumn, and it did do that. So I want to put this in where I'm going to have my beans this year, because it's too early for the beans, but hopefully this will have cropped and be gone by the time my beans are going in. I've also got some cauliflowers here, and these are broccoli. The plants are probably smaller than I would normally plant out, but I'm going to put fleece over them and just get them in the ground and see what happens to them. I've also got some cabbage there. This is greyhound cabbage, and then this is kohlrabi, which again is a quick growing plant. So that's my brassicas there, and then over here these are the broad beans. I think they are probably ready to go in. I think they should be okay. And then up here I've got my shallots, which I'll plant as well. And around the front I've got some onions that I've been hardening off for a few days, just because it's really windy. Normally I would just put them in, but because it's been windy I wanted them to get used to the wind. I'll get on and harvest as much as I can from the garden, clear away the plants then that I will have harvested, and get on with planting up those things. Well, that's some beds mulched, some new compost started off for next year, and some plants gotten into the ground. So I'm very pleased with what I've got done today. I think my plants might have been on the small side, which is why I've covered them in fleece, and I'm hoping that they'll be okay. And today is a lovely sunny day. Hopefully we'll have a few more of these, and and those plants will get anchored into the ground and will start growing. But we'll have to wait and see if I've done the right thing, won't we? I'm glad to get my broad beans in. I've still got quite a few left over, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I might just grow them in pots and see how well they do in pots. So that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing and commenting if you have done so. And all I can say about my work today is lovely job. And take care everybody, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.